I wanted to do these episodes in one take, but it looks like I've been getting a lot of call-ins, and the call-ins are specific to the RPG A Day 2021 podcast that I'm putting out. So I'm going to be including call-ins based on these podcasts or referring to these podcasts, and then doing my one take. So I guess it's a change. We have to adapt. And here we go.
It's fun that you're enjoying my BBC binging with me. I do agree that Call of Cthulhu could be a good model to use, but what about some of the other ones like Pathfinder or Savage Worlds, Dreamlands? I don't know much about your Numenera, but if it would apply, that'd be fun, especially something that has a different time period we can look at, like what if Queen Elizabeth II never ended up on the throne because her father's brother never advocated, and its effects on the whole world if he did not stay sided with the Allies. Anyways, just a proposal.
I guess Amy's hinting that she wants to play other games like Pathfinder or have a Call of Cthulhu adventure or two set in the Dreamlands. I think she's hinting that she wants to play Cthulhu or Call of Cthulhu one-shot or so mini campaign where you play cat. H.P. Lovecraft was big into cats. I do think that an alternate history would be interesting. I mean, you could use any system. Savage Worlds is always fun if you want like pulp action, crazy over the top. Things can happen because of the way the actions work in Savage Worlds, and that could be fun to do a alternate history where Edward did not abdicate. One could always use GURPS because it's historical, and that's a good system to use for historical and binds it in reality. But I don't know, I'm kind of leaning towards a Delta Green, but it would be what the Black Seal is the equivalent of the Delta Green conspiracy in, I believe. I think I have some Black Seal products. That would be kind of neat to do. So Elizabethan conspiracy and horror against the mythos. Or maybe it would be Edwardian, wouldn't it? In an alternate history. Good stuff, Amy. I guess I have to get some of those games ready. And I guess next time I run Pathfinder or hear about a game, I'll have to let you know. I'll talk to you soon. Well, I'll talk to you just right now because you're in the other room. All right, love you. Bye.
Hey, Carl, dude, I totally meant to call in about your traps and tricks stuff. So I love running puzzles and riddles, and I don't do a lot of traps. Basic traps, but nothing like no Ruth Goldberg traps. But riddles, I love. Puzzles, I love. My players, not so much. I absolutely let them consult each other completely out of character, because when I throw them in there, it is more often than not, I'm testing the players, not the characters. And the table knows that. I know that, because sometimes the puzzles will be meta puzzles where like the answer will be prime numbers or something, even though fantasy worlds can have prime numbers, mine do, but, or binary code or some shit. But yeah, source the table, test the players, and it's fun, but they don't like it. Peace out.
Hey, Joe, thanks for the call, and I felt like you were going to expand upon that statement at the end where you said, my players don't like it. Honestly, I enjoyed the puzzles you threw at us in the Pathfinder game. I didn't mind them. I was trying to solve it, and I think someone else solved it. Maybe that's a whole nother discussion. But I wonder do I like throwing them? I don't think I like throwing puzzles at players because I sense frustration, or at least in the groups that I've played, where they don't get the puzzle necessarily. And it's bogged things down like I shared. So maybe I'll try again. Thanks for the call, and we'll talk to you soon. Hey there. I have a couple unboxings. I don't know if these right now are going to be in a regular show or an RPG a day show. I guess it depends what I unbox. The first unboxing is from RPG City. It is a heavy-ish box. USPS, it's that sort of standard, I would say, it's sort of 8.5 by 17 or so, by 5-6 inches size box. Here goes. See, I'm using an actual steak knife to do this because it must be meaty. It is heavy after all. Do they weigh this thing? Nope. Anyway. Alright. Bubble wrap protected by an inner sleeve that says UPS, even though it's in a USPS box. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Rivalry. So I open this thing here. One of those little bubble envelopes. Alright. This is very good. So inside, these Rift's Savage Worlds Adventure Edition box set. Very cool. All right, I feel like I want to open this to see what's inside because it's in shrink wrap. Yeah, I kind of know what's inside, but I want to actually see what's inside. Rift Savage Worlds. So I'm running some Savage Worlds later this week. Actually, I'm running Savage Worlds Deadlands and Savage Worlds East Texas University. But one of the players in my game said, "Oh, I really like Rifts." So I'm like, "Okay, let me try it." Oh, this is very nice. It's much like the box set from Deadlands. It's got a sleeve of bennies that are specific to Rifts. It's got a set of dice. Hey, they're kind of frosted greeny dice. And the wild dice always has like a little, to the 6, it has a skull head on it. Pretty cool. It's got looks like a big map of the Rifts US, which is kind of neat. On one side, well, Rifts US and Mexico, so the Vampire Kingdom. And then some recon data on the back. I guess how to, not necessarily, I guess maybe this is for hacking. Maybe it's for hacking or like stylized schematics. Have Castle Refuge. It must be. Okay, yeah, it looked like it's data for one of the maps in one of the adventures, perhaps. So very cool. Very cool. Map looks good. It's got a screen. Yeah, the screen is shrink wrapped. The Tomorrow Legion Player's Guide and the Game Master's Handbook. Savage Foes of North America as well. Yeah, so it's got the Bestiary, the GM's Guide, and the Player's Guide. And within the screen is shrink wrapped also, so we got to get rid of that shrink wrap. And it's got a few little things in there. So it's got, it looks like, okay, it's got an adventure, like a little booklet with an adventure. Pretty cool. And then it has a screen. So very nice. I wonder if that adventure is at the. We will see. So very cool. Rifts box set. I hope to employ it and use it very soon. My second unboxing is the same sized box as the other, like a sort of, I don't know if it's standard, but the 8.5 by 17 or so by 5 or 6 inches. Not nearly as heavy though. And it's not from RPG City, it's from Sci-Fi City, but also from Knoxville. I wonder if it's like the same thing, or it's just a warehouse. Again, using my steak knife. Open it up. And it's also in a secondary label with some shrink wrap. And I get to the secondary package in there on the box. This one's a little easier to open. Perforation key. Oh wow, inside it's something that Amy ordered for me. So she really must be enjoying my Deadlands game. She rarely buys me RPG products because I buy enough for myself, but she bought me and found a Deadlands kind of adventure site compilation called Ghost Towns. It's for the Savage Worlds Deadlands Reloaded, but things are pretty easily compatible. It's pretty neat. It actually, let me see, it has 7 sites, like towns that are made up, and it has a strange locale generator, and at the end it has encounters, so it has like monsters and friends and foes that look like they're at the various locations. So very cool. 2 Savage Worlds products. Man, even though this isn't Flood, I've had a flood of packages this week, and I have another unboxing. So this is a big, thick box again. Oh my gosh, it's from Kevin Madison from Calgary all the way from Canada. I know what this is. This is a prize for the raffle. And I will tell you what it is. And you might know already if you're on Kevin Madison's Discord channel. Ooh. Man, postage is expensive. Thank you, Kevin. Oh my gosh. All right. Ooh, this is the Beetle and Grimm's Icewind Dale Rime of the Frost Maiden Silver Edition box set. Fantastic. That is actually one of the campaigns I'd love to run. Ooh, look at that. It's got like bubble wrap inside the box itself. Maybe I'll keep one of those so things don't slide around too much. Whoa. So what's this got in it other than being in a big box? So we got a thing of the contents. What's in the box? The Far North Chapter 1, 10 Towns, Icewind Dale, all that stuff. A DM screen, nice. Campaign maps, battle maps, and handouts. Pre-generated characters, but bonus encounters as well, and encounter cards. Very, very cool. It is heat. Oh, wow. There is some cool stuff in here. There's like a medallion. There's like props and stuff in here too. Oh, wow. This is going to be fun to, wow, lots of cards and things like that. This is awesome. Definitely handy at the table, and I don't have to open up all the little books and supplements is pretty nice as opposed to opening up my deluxe copy. This is a fine addition to that collection. This looks fantastic. Thank you, Kevin, for sending it. And thank you, Gods of Luck, for the drawing. That is so cool. I want to play this. It goes finely next to my, on display on my shelves, along with the, probably couldn't hear that. It's going to go fine on display on my shelves along with the Curse of Strahd revamped box set. Very nice. Very cool stuff. So I'm going to try to give a recap of our Starfinder game that we started last night on the Wednesday. It will replace the Iron Kingdoms 5e game, which we finished the Legacy of the Witchfire, and now are moving on to Starfinder Horizons of the Vast. The first event, it is an adventure path for Starfinder that is basically Kingmaker in space. So you get a charter to start and run a colony. There is a sub game where you have the charter and you expand upon your charter with settlements and run it. So that's supposed to be like another, I guess, in a way, another player character that all the characters run. So everyone wasn't quite ready. Some people had made their character and some people had not, or some people had made it on Hero Labs and were transferring it to Roll20. So I will introduce the characters. We have 5 players, it looks like. There is Dutch, who is a Vesk soldier. Vesk are lizard-like, big lizard-like creatures. Dutch is like an ongoing theme or character type. I think this player has played Dutch before in a previous incarnation, and I've played a Dutch before, so I don't know, there's something about a big lizard soldier man. Then we have Von Duel, and Von Duel is an operative, and he is an Astrozoan, which look like starfish but can shape change into anything they want to be. So he has a secret, maybe the other characters don't know, we're not sure yet. The next one is Kess, and Kess is a Strix mechanic, and Strix are winged folk, like I guess Erinys, Harpies type creatures. Pretty cool. And he is a mechanic, so there you go. So next we have a very interesting character. I think he's going to have fun. This is ProtoZ654. He is an android envoy. He's going to be modeled after C-3PO, which should be fun. And then lastly we have Rhodes. And Rhodes is a human technomancer, so a blend of... So our spellcaster, our technology magic guy, so that's good. That means I can throw them some... Interestingly, they don't have healing, really. So it should be fun with those characters. So they did set up their charter. And the charter name is called Over the Horizon. Their patron is the Starfinder Society. And that gave them some... So basically, you choose your patron, it gives you some bonuses. And then there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6... 1, 2... 3, 4, 5, sorry, 5 stats that your charter has: Accord, Economy, Culture, Magic, and Tech. And when they decided, was through some discussion, that Accord is going to end up being 0 because they had a -1 because of Starfinder Society, the -1 to Accord because of that exploration type patron, and they gave it a bonus because you have some extra points to play with at the end. So it's Accord is 0, Economy is 2. They want to start up and running. Culture is 1, Magic is 0, and Tech is 1. So we'll see how that goes. Pretty cool. They had decided to start a settlement. There were 3 locations where they were observing and orbiting the planet Wayanda 4, or I think it's called also New Horizon. And they decided to start their first settlement on the edge of a lake, and they call it Lake Town. I think there's going to be a Middle Earth vibe and theme, or is it, I don't know, some people talked about Barter Town too, so maybe it's going to be Mad Maxy. We'll see. Everything's probably going to have town at the end of it, but that gave them a +1 aquatic resource dice, and we'll probably do domain turns. I mean, in game time, it's like once a month, so it depends on how many events happen during the month or whatever. So we'll see how that goes. So we did that. That took up most of the game after all the characters had gotten ready. And then we landed, and we left with the cliffhanger with the big starship that had how all the equipment kind of landed and was automated and started setting up the settlement, the lake town that they're going to be at. And then there is a cry of surprise from some of the settlers as they're coming out, and then we see these 6 or so, maybe 8 bug-like creatures coming out of the ground. And now the players, who are going to be the troubleshooters in this tale, are going to have to deal with them. That's where we left off. Excuse me. And we will continue. I think we're going to do every other week. They were concerned that I might get burned out since I run a lot of games. And we have this game, and then opposite our live Thursday Warhammer Fantasy game. So I think that will work pretty well. And it'll give me a week to prep, in between a week to prep, or just hang out and go hang out with my wife, do those kind of things in between. So there you go, our first session 0 of Starfinder Horizons of the Vast Planetfall. Good morning or afternoon or evening all. Today's prompt word is safety. And I guess safety, when I think of safety, especially in light of what I just talked about in the previous little segment about our planetfall, I think of a home base. And I guess this also stems from origins in a West Marches style game, that the conceit is that your home base, your home village, your home city, town, where you buy supplies, get your hirelings, and before you go out into the wilderness, it's a safe space. It's safety. You come back, you sell your gear, identify your magic items, rest and recuperate, spend your hard-earned coin that you find in the ruins in the wilderness, and you do not have the fear that something dangerous to your character is going to happen in that home base, and you're safe. So I wonder if that will translate. I haven't looked ahead really. I feel like there are going to be a lot of events that take place in the home base in this planetfall scenario. So I don't know if there's actually a safe space, but there might be a lot of downtime where player characters, without having a sort of risk to their health, will be able to do things to improve the base. So in a way, it's safe in that regard when you do the domain turn, as it were, the settlement turn, I guess that's what it's called, charter turn, I guess, to be broader, then you'll be okay. And what about like another game that has something similar to that, and it has yet to be established in our current game, is Twilight 2000 4th edition. They have a whole section on home base and establishing your home base and what does that entail. And right, so currently in the group, they're mobile right now, and they have they've converted their APC. They have a still that they can put together and break down, but it needs some time to make the fuel, right? So a home base would be ideal, and I think they're heading towards what they hope is a safe space, the free city of Krakow in the game, and maybe they can establish their home base there and work from there for a little bit, and have a safe space where they can go without the fear of the GM imposing danger to them. But it's pretty interesting. I mean, I remember a big thing back in when I played City of Heroes was, in your guild you could establish like a base in one of the expansions, which I thought was pretty neat. They tried that idea in WoW, and I don't know how well it took to have a home base. I know in one of the expansions in Warlords of Draenor, you can create your own little domain, and you do things within there, and there's no like fighting really, and it is a safe space. It's a place where you can, sell your goods and all that. And I think that's a pretty interesting concept. And is it only through domain play that this happens? For example, in my Broken Lands game, there are 2 domains. One domain is Arctor, where one group or one warlord has established their base, and then another group is in the city of Akras, and they have established a keep. They had to clear it out more or less, and they were building upon it when we took a break and hiatus from this game. But that too should be even though the city is not a safe space necessarily, and they will go and do jaunts out into the wilderness like they are currently doing. But I think that their home base should be a safe space. I shouldn't impose. I mean, what do you other GMs think? Do you have events that endanger the home base? Like if they invested and put money into this keep, are you gonna screw them out of it? It was very interesting in our game, in our Planetfall game, session 0. One of the players was like concerned that, okay, we're going to be on this lakeshore. Is the GM going to impose a flood on us and destroy it all? Or is it going to be like we get there and it's not like as it seemed? And I go, I don't know. I don't think that's the purpose of the settlement site. The settlement site is supposed to be a safe space, and it's not going to be a place where the GM can screw you. So I guess it depends on what origin of the gaming style you come from, whether you believe or not that you have the ability to have a safe space. So this is about, what I can think of: safety, a home base, a place to hang your hat and rest your weary head from walking out into the wilderness or exploring out to the wilderness and fighting for your life and limb. So there you go, safety, a safe space.